Imagine a world where women are expected to stay in their drawing rooms, far removed from the intellectual and creative pursuits of men. Now picture a young girl defying those expectations, secretly devouring books, writing her first novel at 11, and later becoming the first woman to win the Pulitzer Prize for Literature. This is the story of Edith Wharton, an author, a trailblazer, and a woman who dared to break barriers in a society that tried to confine her. Today, we'll delve into her extraordinary life, from her early struggles to her triumphs as one of America's greatest writers. Edith Newbold Jones was born in 1862 to an affluent New York family. Her upbringing was steeped in the rigid social codes of the Gilded Age, a time when a woman's worth was measured by her ability to marry well, not by her intellect or creativity. From a young age, Edith felt stifled by the constraints of high society. While other girls her age were content with dolls and tea parties, Edith was captivated by books. She would secretly read works by Shakespeare, Emerson, and Darwin, even though her mother disapproved. Writing, however, was her greatest passion. By age 11, Edith had written her first novella, which she shared only with her governess. Her literary ambitions, however, were seen as unseemly for a young woman of her class. Her parents discouraged her creative pursuits, pushing her instead toward the traditional role of a society wife. In 1885, Edith married Edward Wharton, a wealthy banker. While her marriage gave her the freedom to travel and experience the world, it was deeply unfulfilling. Edward had little interest in her intellectual pursuits and suffered from mental health issues that strained their relationship. During this time, Edith turned to literature as a form of escape. She began writing short stories and articles, many of which were published in magazines. Despite her growing success, she remained hesitant to fully embrace her identity as a writer, fearing the judgment of her peers. Wasn't until her 40s that Edith truly came into her own. In 1902, she published The Valley of Decision, a historical novel that earned her critical acclaim. Encouraged by its success, she began working on what would become some of her most celebrated works, including The House of Mirth, 1905, and Ethan Frome, 1911. Her novels were a sharp critique of the society she grew up in, exposing the hypocrisy, greed, and emotional repression of the Gilded Age. Edith's writing was deeply personal, informed by her own experiences and observations. She once said, "Life is the only thing that can't be imitated." In 1920, Edith published The Age of Innocence, a masterpiece that won her the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction, the first time the award was given to a woman. The novel was a bittersweet reflection on the constraints of tradition and the sacrifices required to live authentically. By this time, Edith had established herself as a literary icon. She was admired not only for her storytelling but also for her meticulous craftsmanship and her ability to capture the complexities of human relationships. In her later years, Edith moved to France, where she continued to write and support humanitarian efforts during World War I. She used her wealth and influence to help refugees and organize medical aid, earning France's Legion of Honor for her contributions. Despite her success, Edith never forgot the obstacles she faced as a woman in a male-dominated literary world. Her life was a testament to resilience, determination, and the power of breaking barriers. Edith Wharton once wrote, "There are two ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it." Her life and work did both. Her story reminds us that even in the face of societal constraints, it's possible to carve out a path of our own. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of remarkable individuals who defied the odds and left their mark on history.